Let's go to Steven Mnuchin right now. The Treasury Secretary is speaking.
And with Bruno Lamar, the finance minister, and they absolutely understand they would need waivers from the U.S. to do that, and that is not something we're contemplating at the moment.
Sea change? Is there a sea change with Bolton gone?
No, no sea change. I've been perfectly clear. Secretary Pompeo and I have been executing the president's maximum pressure campaign. President Trump has said he would sit down with Rouhani with no conditions. That's not planned. That's not planned at the moment.
As a goodwill gesture, the president said that he delayed the next round of tariffs on
Yes.
China. What does he want in return?
I don't think there was anything specifically in return. This was an issue that October 1st had a big significance to them, which was their 70th anniversary. The vice premier asked us to delay it, and the president agreed to that. I would hope that China reciprocates, but this wasn't done. This was done as a goodwill gesture to the Chinese.
So, Mr. Secretary, how is it an effective negotiating strategy?
Go
The
ahead.
economy is going to be a major theme at the ABC debate tonight. Will you be watching, and what are you going to be watching for?
I don't know. I'll watch parts of it. I'm sure I'll see the news clips afterwards. I would say it is perfectly clear that there are two different approaches to the economy. I think it's clear what our approach has been, and it's worked, whether it's our tax cuts, regulatory relief, or trade. It's why the U.S. economy is outperforming everything else in the world. And I think if you listen to the Elizabeth Warren plan, it is 100% recession, if not worse.
There was a lot in that interview there, so if you don't mind, let me ask you two different things. On China, Huawei, does the trade team, does the administration believe Huawei is a national security issue or a trade issue or both? And secondly, you talked about the possibility of a 50-year bond. In a prior interview, you had talked about the possibility of a 50 and 100. Can you spell out what is under consideration right now and for when?
Sure. Let me just say on the first issue, I think as we've talked about Huawei, again, there are national security issues associated with Huawei, and those are not things that we are discussing. I think, the Department of Commerce is looking at waivers for certain issues that are not national security. So Huawei, there are two sides to that. And in regards to ultra-long bonds, our focus right now is on 50-year bonds. That's something that we're actively considering for next year, and we'll consider 100-year bonds at an appropriate time.
Mr. Secretary, staying on China, how is it an effective negotiating strategy to make a threat of tariffs and then to continuously delay that threat?
Well, when you say continuously delay, we have tariffs on 550 billion of goods, so I wouldn't exactly call that a delay. In any negotiation, first of all, there's no question the only reason why China is seriously negotiating with us is because of the tariffs. And this president is dealing with issues that should have been dealt with for the last 20 or 30 years. So tariffs do work. It's what's brought them to the table, no different than sanctions work. And the president, of course, is a negotiator. So this delay was a goodwill gesture and nothing more than that.
When was the last time you spoke with the Chinese on trade? When was the last time you spoke with the Chinese on trade? And can you guarantee the October talks are going to happen?
I spoke to the Chinese, I believe, about a week ago. There is a deputy-level meeting that is set up. I believe it's either next week or the following week. They're coming here. We expect there'll be active work done. The ambassador and I have a date in the beginning of October, I think, with some of the logistics issues. First of all, the ambassador is very focused on getting USMCA done now that Congress is back in session, so that's the #1 priority. We have UNGA coming up. The ambassador is working on the Japanese deal, so it's really just logistics issues. My expectation is they'll be here in October unless something changes.
On Libra, sir, France today said that Libra should not be developed in Europe. Your response to what?
I'm sorry, what shouldn't be developed?
Libra. They went
the Libra.
Yeah,
I think we've been very clear. I've had very direct discussions with the consortium that before we approve this in the United States and the U.S. dollar, which is around the world, we would make sure there are very serious conditions put in to make sure that it's not used for terrorist financing, it's not used for money laundering. They have not met those conditions. They don't even have a plan to meet those conditions. So I think it's a long way away, if ever. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.